Right, Julian Assange has been denied bail, and now his website is being denied funding, with companies like Visa and PayPal cutting off Wikileaks. Joining me now is civil rights attorney Ron Kuby. Ron, welcome to Freedom Watch.
Thank you, Joe.
Right, here is the beef that I have with what the government is doing. The government has bullied PayPal, has bullied Amazon, has bullied Visa out of doing business with a heretofore perfectly respectable client. It would seem to me that the Constitution requires that if the government doesn't like some sort of a commercial relationship, it can file a lawsuit. It can't use the power of bullying.
Well, that's typically what happens, and in this case, amazingly, we are witnessing this odious international collaboration of various nations being spearheaded by the United States, the most powerful nation on earth, all being brought to bear against one journalist to prevent his journalism from emerging and to punish him for what has emerged. And that's a direct contradiction of not just American values, but of American law.
But the charges against him are utterly ridiculous. I mean, these women who filed these charges were people with whom he had amicable relationships after the consensual sex. There's no indication of any criminal activity, and the prosecutors who looked at it in August threw it out, said we don't believe this.
I don't mean to disagree with your other esteemed guest, but I think Mr. Assange's path, unfortunately, will go from England fairly soon to Sweden on the phony rape charges.
Right.
And then the Swedish center-right government, which has consistently colluded and collaborated with the United States over some things that we shouldn't be doing, will waive most extradition procedures and send him back to the United States. There's a grand jury currently sitting in Alexandria, Virginia right now.
Interesting that it should be Alexandria, Virginia. Why is that the government's favorite place to try people who first enter the U.S.?
It is one of the most conservative districts. It's also one of the districts that has the huge number of federal employees and an obsession with secrecy. It is the headquarters of the CIA.
Do you think that Julian Assange will not get bail, will not see the light of day, will unsuccessfully resist being deported or being extradited to Sweden and to the U.S.?
Yes, yes, and yes. And I think within a few weeks he's going to be marched into a federal courthouse in chains and shackles. He'll be denied bail. He'll be held literally in a hole somewhere under a special administrative measure that'll cut him off from communication with almost everyone, even abridge some of the communications with his lawyers. He won't have his documents. He won't be able to prepare.
What the heck kind of due process is that?
It's unfortunately the process that is due these days, and I'm at least happy that some people are pointing out, wait a second, this guy is being treated like an al-Qaeda operative when all he is doing is acting as a journalist, publicizing information that, frankly, as a citizen, I want to know.
And that the government has not denied as truthful. Ron Kuby, thank you very much for joining us. The tax deal is not a